Just like when Charlie was shot, how many times it's this person, it's that. People nowadays want to be first, and people make mistakes. I tell this to people all the time. I make mistakes all the time, right? And sometimes it's just, sometimes it's not even a mistake. It's you get the data you need or the facts or whatever. But for many people out there, it's the rage bait. It's the clicks. It's the likes. It's all of the things. And even if people get it wrong, the problem is in today's world, those people don't ever get held accountable. It's like if somebody tells you the wrong thing 1,000 times and you continue to go back to them, that's kind of a you problem. So, we'll see. We will see what this brings. Because, again, I have, the information we get is a little bit ahead of you guys, but for the most part, it's going to trickle in. It's not like I don't think he's coming out and confessing right now. But the name Brian Cole Jr. of Woodbridge, Virginia, that is the identity of the January 6th alleged bomber.
Who'd he vote for?
I don't know. That's a great question. And I was asking Chris, I said, Chris, do you think it was an inside job? Do you think, was he at January 6th and his bombs didn't work? Do you think he dropped the bombs off and didn't think anything of it? And then January 6th happened and it kind of became something, but it just happened to be a coincidence?
Interesting.
Again, all of these things are things that...
Yeah, it may not even be connected to the riot.
No, dude may have just dropped him, thought he was going to I'm pissed at both sides.
Right.
And this is what you guys think. And he wasn't in January 6th, and he wanted to make a statement. And there you go. That January 6th happened. He's probably thinking, geez, I had a big day planned, and this is what happened. I don't know. So it'll be interesting, again, to see in the next 24 to 48 hours how many conspiracy theories, how many identities people get wrong as far as this is a picture of him. No, this is a picture of him. And I knew him when, because that's what happens in these things. I was telling him, Ken, the January, not January 6th, but when Charlie was shot, or any shooter anywhere, how many times he's like, this is the person. No, this is the person. No, this is the person. And you're like, that's not even close to what the person ends up being or not being. So, and then you're like, wait a minute. And how many people have names that are similar to that person too? That's the other side of it.
Yeah.
Where somebody's like, this is just a regular lady. She's a housewife. She's really not the...
Well, think about this name. Brian Cole.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably a lot of Brian Coles out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And they're having to right now shut their all of their social media down because they're getting destroyed by people going, I knew you did it. They're like, I'm an accountant in Seattle.
Man, 5 years.
That's 5 years. And they said it was just sitting in a pile, kind of the person they suspect. And they just kind of, it's in the file. We'll figure it out later, maybe. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. It's just, it shows you when government wants to do something, they can go and do it. And when they don't, it's just on the back burner. Interesting. Did you see that with the bear thing I sent you?
Yes. Morons.
Morons.
Complete and utter morons. Bears are not dogs.
No, they're not.
All they care about is eating.
Yes. And this is the little poem. If it's brown, lay down or stay down.
Yes, sir.
You play dead because they're not going to do anything to you. If it's black, fight back. The reason for that is black bears will go over and eat you if you lay down. And if it's white, good night.
Yes. Black bears are much more aggressive than grizzlies.
Yes. And people are so stupid, though. And when I was talking about why nature messes you up, because we got some hilarious nature stories, too. Nature doesn't just mess you up. Sometimes it makes you laugh. But we don't make fun of people who, are walking and they get attacked by a lion, right? Or a mountain lion or something. We make fun of people who try to pet the bison.
Yeah. A wild animal with horns.
Yes. Then you kind of deserve, it's like that's just nature's way of saying, hey, not only will we mess you up, you kind of deserve this.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. These 4 people that you sent me, morons.
Yes.
Absolute morons. They're lucky. They're lucky.
They are. I don't get, like they're like, Chris is joking, do you think they're liberal? I said, no, what they are is they're idiots that are doing it for the fame.
Yes.
And by the way, you're going to get famous. And it's not the way you think.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You're not going out in a blaze of glory. You're going out in an embarrassment, which, again, is at times kind of funny. It is. The lady that tried to, grab the shark and take a picture. What, it bit me?
It looks so sweet.
Oh, jeez, guys.
Yeah.
Again, it's just nature's way of saying, you know what?
I do like that one video you sent me of the guy with the fat bulldog on his shoulder.
Was he awesome? What kind of rage videos do you watch? I sent Ken one with a fat bulldog, and then I sent him one with the fattest cats on the planet.
Yes.
And the reason is we're going to do a story later because there's Cat Zempic coming.
Oh, yes. Cat Zempic.
Honest to God, there's Cat Zempic.
Cat Govey.
Yeah. Meow, Govey.
We got to get in on this, man.
Man,
We got to.
Let's
We
be
got to
real.
come up with something.
Fat dogs, But I tell you what, man, when I look at fat cats, my heart smiles. There's always that cat that that will never get adopted. What's his name? His name's Pancake or Flounder. And you're like, oh, God, he's so hilarious because he just lays there and goes, bah. And it's the best. Like, how big is little Fritz? Is he chunky?
Little Fritz is a chunk. Yes, sir. He is. He's about 28 pounds, which standards are usually about, they're about 20 to 25 pounds. Fritz is definitely overweight.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they got that. It's funny. Our dog Bowie, who we think has some wiener dog in him and a few other things. He's a little bit inbred, we always say. It's just something about him. He has a derp. He'll look at you and he's got an overbite. He's like, what's going on, guys? But we call him boat anchor because he is all muscle and he weighs 25 pounds. And then my wife's dog is one of those she designer dogs.
Yeah.
That I think is made of feathers. But both of our dogs are fit. And our cat, our cat is super fit. Which is just, I'm always amazed. I'm like, my God, he eats all day.
Yeah, we had some friends. They had a cat named Miss Kitty Sue.
Oh.
She was a little fatty. She whipped up on our wiener dogs, though. Well, one of them, Bentley always tried to mess with her. And, she'd slap him.
Don't be doing that.
Doing the cat slap. I love the cat slap.
Cat slap.
It's just pat, 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 pat.
Oh, so fast, aren't they? What do you think of those apples? You want some more of this? I got some of this.
Yeah, Boo didn't like that. He didn't like that at all. He left Miss Kitty Sue alone after a couple of those.
Well, especially if you lose an eye.
Yeah, she was declawed, fortunately for Bentley Boo. Or Boo he probably would have lost an eye.
Sue.
Little Miss Kitty Sue. She was a fatty, man.
Oh, my goodness me.
Sweet cat.
I love the fact that you wonder why the rest of the world hates us. We're like, hey, guys, we know that there's war going on in your world, and we know that there's a drought, and that all of these things are happening, but our animals are so fat from all of the food, we had to come up with medicine for them because they can't control themselves.
Yeah, we got it rough over here, man.
When you think about the amount of money that, and we'll talk about this later, that we spend on our animals, Christmas,
Oh, man.
Halloween, and then let's not forget when it comes to vet bills.
Yeah.
We probably more than most GDPs globally to make sure that Fluffies and Snuggles is okay.
Yeah. And we wonder why when we walk into some veterinarians' offices, there's nothing but stuff they're trying to sell you.
That's what they're trying to do. The minute you walk in, it's like, would you like to sign up for a care card?
Yeah.
What? Wait, why? I'm just here to get, my dog dewormed. Well, your dog may have some disease.
We're going to have to take some tests.
And, people go into debt over their animals.
Yeah.
Mostly women. You know who you are.
We went to this one place, man. I won't name it. But the wife gets really worried whenever Fritz eats stuff that he's not supposed to outside. And it's usually another dog's dropping.
Yes.
And it makes him sick.
Yeah.
Well, this one was particularly, worrisome to my wife, so we took him someplace. These people are trying to get me to leave Fritz overnight because they're claiming that he's dehydrated, and we need to rehydrate him. You're gonna have to leave him overnight. Let us hook him up, to an IV. And I said, let me tell you something. This dog is gonna be fine. Just if there's something serious, do a test on him and let me know. But no, you're not hooking my dog up to an IV for $5,000 overnight.
That's so ridiculous.
And there were so many dogs in this place that were in crates hooked up to IVs. And I don't think any of them needed it.
No,
I'm not an expert.
It's one of those places that you go for, who is it? It's where you can go and rejuvenate yourself. They give you a vitamin B shot.
Kind of like what Diddy.
Yeah.
Kind of the Diddy treatment.
Yeah. So, hey, are you really hungover? Come over and get a vitamin B. And they bring you all of those because they do that. They'll come to your house, and it's insane. My grandmother used to do that. And for 2 days, she'd be on. She'd be like, ah. And then eventually I was like, I don't know if it's working, Grandma. And then she'd be crazy, man. And I was like, it's obviously not working because Grandma's crazy.
It's just my own opinion, but if you walk into an animal clinic and there's nothing but product they're trying to sell you, you might want to think twice. That's just me.
Well, it's probably where they make their best money. It's like the same thing with the hair place. Those people make so much of their money off the back bars, they call it. But they're trying to sell you something, right?
He's a little dehydrated.
You go to Costco now, even at the pharmacy, they're trying to sell you pet pharmacy stuff.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I got a good story about, our cat Threador who passed away a few years ago. Why we called him Threador, because he was hilarious.
Threador.
So much stuff to get to today. We're going to have some fun, as what we do here. Talk some serious stuff as well. I know that the boat briefings are going on today. So behind closed doors. So that means there's actually real conversations about.
Are they going to hold hearings?
Well, the hearings are all behind closed doors. They may have some public ones down the road, but getting the info, when you know that nobody's allowed in, the media, they're probably discussing something in a little bit more open way than they would about who is responsible for what. Talk about that. A bunch of other crazy stories and the jobs. Man, we got to start, we got to be honest about the jobs. These numbers are ugly. And Trump continuing to say that it's a hoax is not a winning strategy. Even Birch had said it yesterday. We'll talk about that as well. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. This is Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Raycon, best earbuds around. I love my Raycon. You will love yours. Why? Because they're amazing. Sound quality is second to none. The fit, because they're ergonomically designed, incredible. The way that you can remove in between the sound, right? With a touch of the button, you can answer phone, do all that stuff, but you can go from awareness mode to active noise cancellation, which is incredible. 10 hours, for every 10 minutes, you get 90 minutes of listening when you charge, which is insane. But then you get to the 8 hours of talk time, 32 hours of battery life, and the multi-connectivity. It's just out of this world. Now, here's the beauty of it. 20% off site-wide for the best audio round with Raycon. I'm going to save you 20%. If you order by the 15th, it's going to get there before Christmas, right? Because great Christmas presents shouldn't have to wait. So what are you waiting for? 30-day happiness guarantee. Go to buyraycon.com/Chad now. Take advantage of 20% off site-wide and check out the classic earbuds from Raycon. Buyraycon.com/Chad. Buyraycon.com/Chad.
All right, authorities have released the identity of the U.S. Capitol pipe bomb suspect that they arrested this morning. And authorities in Tullahoma investigating a deadly dog attack. 2 people killed, one of them an infant. This story and more at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
See, that's awful.
Terrible. It's a terrible, terrible story.
And I'm going to go with it's a Rottweiler, pit bull.
They were pits.
Yeah. That is just horrific. And people get those and they're ill-equipped to handle them.
You've got to know what you're doing with certain breeds. You just do.
100%. Oh, God, yes. I mean, certain breeds. I mean, how many times have you walked down the street and seen somebody, in particular, either an older person, but mostly a woman, who's got a dog that is way too big for them to handle? And you're thinking to yourself, what happens when that thing gets loose? You know? And it's already tugging. Or those people that get these and they want them to be tough. And what happens? Stuff like this. That is horrific. It is.
Yeah, it's terrible, man.
You know, and to think, you know, we always talk like sharks, and we were talking about bears earlier, but dogs, they kill way more than sharks and bears do. And a lot of times it's kids, right? You know. You got especially infants. Why? Because you have people who are irresponsible, who get animals they shouldn't have. Then they have a kid, and then it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I'm not condemning any breed. What I'm condemning is I'm condemning the people that get them and they do not know what they're doing. because a dog is a dog.
Yes.
And a breed is a breed. A dog, if they're an animal, they run off instinct. And some of these people get these dogs to make themselves, to elevate their own status, and they're just morons. And I've known some of these people.
Yes.
I've known someone who decided it would be neat to get a couple of German Shepherd puppies. Well, those German Shepherd puppies just kind of sat in the backyard and were neglected until one day they got out and went around killing all the neighborhood dogs.
That is nuts.
The puppies grew up.
Yeah. And
didn't like being neglected.
Didn't like being neglected. Didn't see humans as something that they should respect. And chances are they were smarter than the person who had them, got out, and did what came natural to them at that point.
Yeah.
Because for the most part, they were probably kind of feral. And everything was potentially, was kill or be killed in their mind. God, it is just...
these dogs, man, they were well over 100 pounds, man. I mean, these were some big German Shepherds.
But just the amount of people, and little dogs bite more. Everybody's like, well, little dogs bite. Yeah, little dogs bite more. But you know what? My dog, Red, he weighs 6 pounds.
Well,
and he's not venomous.
Yeah, and I mean, Fritz. I mean, I've said it on the air. I had to stop taking Fritz to the dog park because it was Fritz causing the trouble.
Yeah, Fritz. Well, he likes to throw down.
But I'm a responsible owner.
Yes.
I mean, I get it. My dog is going to get killed because he's picking fights with bigger dogs.
But you said it right there. You're a responsible owner. And that's where so many of these things go wrong. Because people like the idea of something, they don't like the responsibility of it.
Right.
And I've seen that in the world because I've had so many exotic things. And I've seen too many people used to come in when I was working with my buddy Jay, and they would come in and they would, I want to get, no, I'm not selling you that.
Yeah.
I'm not selling you that because you were
right.
You were unequipped to handle what it's going to become. You see it as 11-inch little, monitor lizard that is eventually going to be 5.5 feet.
Yes.
If you feed it right and do what you're supposed to, it's going to be 75 pounds, and you're thinking it's going to be a status, and it's going to get, and you could tell people would come in, and they love the idea, hate the responsibility.
Right.
That's a good one. Write that down. Put that on a shirt.
Yes, sir.
All right, coming up, talk a little bit about the financial world, the economy, which affects us all, and the Republicans need to fix their messaging, and Trump cannot continue to say it's a hoax. It doesn't work. Mispronounced words. We'll talk about that. Australia is doing something when it comes to kids and social media. We'll talk about that as well. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now in Mount Juliet, you've got a road closed due to a house fire where at least one person died. This is going to be East Division Street between Old Lebanon Dirt Road and Golden Bear Gateway. Suspect in the U.S. Capitol pipe bomb case has been identified as Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old man from Woodbridge, Virginia. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Sources tell us the suspect was arrested at his home this morning. Authorities believe he is the person seen on these various surveillance camera videos walking around the Capitol wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, a mask, and a pair of Nike Air Max sneakers. The bombs were found roughly 16 hours after they were placed, discovered at a critical moment, just minutes before hundreds of supporters of President Trump began breaching barricades outside of the U.S. Capitol.
Authorities have not yet disclosed a motive or detailed charges. Here in Tennessee, the story we were just talking about. Authorities in Tullahoma investigating after a deadly dog attack killed an infant and the infant's grandfather. This man is a neighbor who says he had just arrived home, saw a woman screaming in the street. He says he went to try to help her, but she ran away into the backyard of a home there on East Warren Street.
And we started hearing that the two dogs had attacked two family members and killed them. We had no idea that anything like this would ever happen here. It's just horrible.
Police say the grandfather was killed trying to protect the child. Animal control say they removed 7 dogs from the property, and 1 was put down at the scene after authorities say it rushed them. A new report shows Tennessee ranks among the worst states for older drivers involved in fatal crashes. The state's rate, according to this survey, is more than 22 deaths per 100,000 licensed drivers age 65 and older, which, if that's the case, is well above the national average of 15.9. Experts say the growing senior population means this trend could worsen. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The Wellness Institute of Nashville. Write this down, painisbad.com, painisbad.com.
But it doesn't have to be.
If you've got
Get
pain,
a guaranteed
we're talking
offer
about
from
back,
Marks Real
neck
Estate.
pain,
There are
sciatic,
showings,
slip,
no
bulging
open houses,
discs.
no stress.
You've got
Work with
herniated
the
discs,
number one
spinal
real estate
stenosis,
team in the
numbness,
US
weakness,
and close with
your
confidence.
knees, your
Go
back.
To markspain.com today.
Go see them. Okay? They've got something amazing right now. It is a $12 comprehensive exam. They call it the Big Daddy Trump Special. It includes x-rays, exam, right? The whole 9 yards. You bring an MRI if you have it. They're going to explain the diagnosis and your first treatment.
Hey,
Dr.
this is
Mitchell and
Pastor
Dr. Ashley
Allen.
are
Join us
incredible.
on Super
Their
Talk
knowledge is second to
99.7
none.
Sunday evenings
Do
from 7 to
not
8. We're going to
allow
look at the
pain
news
to
from a
rule your life
biblical
anymore.
perspective.
If you think you can't have a pain-free life, you're wrong. No surgery, no spinal injections, no painkillers. Call the Wellness Institute and take advantage of the $12 comprehensive exam now. 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or painisbad.com, painisbad.com. A lot of you chiming in about pit bulls saying it's just a lot of people should never own those dogs. And it's sad because it's not the dog, it's the owner. It's irresponsible people.
All the time.
Yeah. Can things happen? Absolutely. I mean, yes, things can happen, but they're still a beast, right? Like if you think about a dog in the way that, if you had a cat that big, you would approach it in a much different way, right? But yeah, you're still going to get, if it was a pet, you'll still be friendly with it. But there is always that chance. Those jaws are going to turn and do something, even if they're playing. But when you're irresponsible, I remember I was in Georgia and I was on a mini vacation and I went to like an adoption day. It was really cool. And so I go to this adoption day with my friend and because they're giving free shots out, like one of those days, free shots. Probably 200 people in line with mostly pit bulls. And a lot of them were, you could tell they got big collars and they've got the harnesses. And you're thinking, God, yeah. It's like a loaded gun.
Yeah.
But the difference is the loaded gun isn't going to on its own turn around and bite you.
Right.
At least I hope not, because if that happened, well, then we'd have a lot of issues.
Yeah, that'd be a real problem then. Hopefully there's never AI guns.
Oh, that's coming. You know it is. God, that's crazy, right? The AI stuff that's coming, the guns. Oh, yeah. You don't think they're building stuff? You don't think they're talking? What was the other day? They had two AIs talk to each other for the umpteenth time, this new one.
Yeah.
And they then asked if they would like to basically go talk in their own language, so nobody else, so they could handle business without the people knowing on their own. Hey, do you want to get off here and just go have like coffee? And we'll talk in our own language. Goodness me. The job market, let's be honest, okay? I'm an honesty cat. You guys know that? Some of you get pissed because you're picking on. No, I'm not. I am telling you the truth. I don't care about anything other than the truth. Truth matters the most. And the numbers right now are ugly. We can pretend that they're not. Highest layoffs since the pandemic. This year alone, 1.1 million people. And manufacturing? Does it mean it's the worst thing ever? No. But when you, and we talk about it all the time, when you tell everybody it's not real, doesn't exist, it's a hoax, people don't like that. They don't. Trump again yesterday talking about, and this is he's doing it on a daily basis because people are asking the question. And look at the numbers, by the way, including Republicans now, who are saying, okay, no, this is the affordability issue is now your issue. It is not a Biden issue. It is your issue. And the more that you try to push it onto Biden, the more that you tell everybody it's not real, the more that people get frustrated.
Just about everything is down. You know, this whole thing is, they use the word affordability. It's a Democrat hoax. They're the ones that drove the prices up. And all they do is say affordability, and you're supposed to say, oh, that means they had low prices. No, we inherited the worst inflation in the history of our country. They say 48 years, but let's say that's history. I don't believe that. Biden had, because of his stupid ways and between his energy policies and his spending policies, we had the worst inflation in the history of our country. And now our prices are coming down. And they're coming down for cars, and they're coming down. I mean, did you hear yesterday when Chris Wright from Energy, the head of energy in our country, said there are now parts of our country, it's all happening, $1.99 for gasoline, a gallon. And we have it at $2.50, $2.60. It was at $5. And that's bigger than any tax cut we could give. And, you know, for the average family, that's considered bigger than any tax cut.
And look, it is a great thing that gas is coming down. But Some things coming down, some things not coming down. The overall feeling is, and you've got to take it in, if I only lived off of gas, that'd be great. But I have to purchase other things. And that's where it starts to add up. And when you tell everybody, and this is the one thing, you can gaslight people, you can lie, you can push the envelope, you can reframe things in everything except for the economy. People don't buy it. They don't. And it's a messaging issue, yes. And that first message has to change. If you want to win next year and not have the last 2 years of your presidency be investigation after investigation.
So the word affordability, when they mention it, you ever watch them? It's all about, I saw the young lady that lost last night. She lost by a lot more than they thought. And we have a great new candidate in Congress, really great, Matt Van Epps. But I saw last night, she said, it's all about affordability, all about, they never talk about like the specifics.
Right.
Everything was through the roof. Eggs, when I took over, eggs were 4 times higher than they ever were. We got the prices down to the lowest level.
Yep.
I mean, amazing. But they never, you got to watch, they're great con people. It's like the Inflation Reduction Act. And after they got it approved, because everybody said inflation reduction, they admitted it had nothing to do with reducing inflation. It's a con job.
Well, it was a con job. And the inflation, the inflation reduction, that was a nightmare. And again, part of the problem. Part of the problem. But you're telling people that affordability is a myth, Stephen Moore. You're telling people, well, the reason that all these jobs have gone away is because of the government shutdown. No, it's not. This is, by the way, this is all year. You were shut down for 50 days, and it didn't affect people realistically until about 20 days into it across the board. It affected the government workers a lot more. But it's not a con job. It's not a hoax. And when you do that, because people do what? I'm looking at my bank account. That's odd. And it's a messaging issue.
I think affordability is the greatest con job. They look at you and they say, affordability. They don't say anything else. Everyone says, oh, their prices were so low. No, they had the worst inflation. We had the highest prices we ever had, and now they're all coming down, including beef is coming down. Beef was up there a little bit. Our ranchers did well, but we got to make them do a little bit less well, perhaps. But the beef is now coming down. Coffee is now coming down. It's all coming down, and it's a beautiful thing to see. But remember this, when they use the word affordability, they never say anything else. This election's about affordability, and then they go on to the next subject. It's a con job. They caused the highest prices in the history of our country, the worst inflation in the history of our country, and we're getting those prices down, and they're coming down rapidly, and you'll see those results very soon.
And do I think they're eventually? Well, no. Do I think they're eventually going to come down? No, I don't. I think some will. They'll level off. What has to happen is the wages have to come up at some point in time. And if the wages don't come up, because remember, there's going to be natural inflation. Stuff that just happens, 2.5%, 2%, that's the mythical 2. But it is, can the wages grow? Can wages strengthen? Can they push through, get past where you're outpacing what is coming? Some stuff yes. The bird flu, right? I never blamed Biden for that. That was, for God's sakes, it was bird flu. I don't blame Trump for beef being so high. But don't say, it's because the farmers are doing it. We had Scott Sapicki in here. He's like, yeah, that's not true. There's a lot of things, including they've got a monopoly when it comes to the meat packing, then the Brazil. There's a lot of things that go into it, including, yes, the droughts. Those things they're all part of it. But when you tell people it's a hoax, it's a myth, they're making stuff up, That's what Biden did. That's what he did. Remember, it's transitory. Yellen would come out, it's transitory. They would all do, it was not transitory. And finally, after 3.5 years, like, yeah, I guess this isn't as transitory as we thought. No, it's not. Tim Burchett talking about this.
Concerned at all that this was closer than it has been in the past?
I'm always concerned, to be honest with you. And yeah, we got a real problem and we better wake up.
What about issues like affordability and the like? Do you guys need to do a better job on those issues?
Of course we need to. The best friend the Democrats have right now is the Republicans' messaging, because we do a terrible job of messaging.
You do. You come out and you say, look, guys, things, you put 40 pounds on. You don't wake up on a Tuesday fit. The next day you're like, oh my God, I'm fat. It happens over time. And when you want to get fit, what happens? It takes time. You have to change certain things. It's not an overnight thing. You come out and message to the people, we're with you. Touch grass, as they say. Get down with the people. Talk to them. Shake them, saying we're doing everything we can. This is not a simple thing. You want to talk about something that is a true threat to our country. It is this ridiculous inflation and the fact that we've got so many people that are worried. Our goal is to get these things down, and we're working in every way, shape, or form to bring these things down, but it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen Thursday. It's like everything else. You get on the scale, and that 40 pounds, well, it's 38 pounds away from where I want to be. And that's how you do it. But if you just say, nah, it's not real. It's a myth. It's not real. It's because of this. It's because of Biden. It's because of this. That's falling on deaf ears. And people are getting frustrated. That's why I get frustrated, because you can reason with people because it's about being honest. Look, I was handed, inflation through the roof. Yes, some of it was starting to come down a little bit, but it wasn't coming down the way that, that the media might want you to think, or this, that. And then you talk it out, but you come out and you blame everybody else, or you say it's not real. And then what happens is people get frustrated. And you don't want that. And you've got, not just, by the way, Birch, so many other Republicans are coming out going, guys, we got to change our messaging. People will give you a chance, but when you tell them, it's not real, eventually they go, well, you know what? Obviously, you're not paying attention to me. All right, coming up, words matter. Lots of words matter. Mispronounced words. We'll talk a little bit about that, among other things. Plus, I did my urban word of the day, and I'm going to throw this one out to you guys about what jobs would fit this. We'll talk a bit about that as well. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Omaha Steaks. You can sizzle all the way and talk about beef coming down. Well, guess what? You don't have to worry about anything, because Omaha Steaks delivers it right to you, to your door. And by the way, if you place your order, okay, no matter what it is, by 6 p.m. Eastern, it ships same day. So let's talk about, making spirits bright and a little bit heavier because of the great Omaha Steaks. And we're talking steaks, seafood, pork, hot dogs. They call them Franks. I call them hot dogs. Incredible burgers. All of the stuff, including desserts. 50% off site-wide. Now, check this out. When you use my code Benson, hello, when you check out, an extra $35 off right there. Boom! It is incredible. So this is what I want you to do. It's guaranteed, bite for bite, 100% money-back guarantee. Go to omahasteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. Use my code Benson to get $35 off at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com. Code Benson. omahasteaks.com. Code Benson.
2 people are dead after a horrific dog attack in South Middle Tennessee. We've got details on that and more coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A top Babbles list that news anchors, politicians and public figures most frequently pronounced wrong this year. The new mayor of New York, it's Zoran Mamdani. Most people switch around the M and the N. The Paris Palace turned museum where the jewels were stolen is the Louvre, with a very soft pronunciation on the L. The weight loss drug is called Manjaro, which a lot of people can't seem to get right. Oh, and speaking of that, the ingredient in Tylenol is...
Let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Another most mispronounced word.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Acetaminophen?
Acetaminophen.
Right? Acetaminophen.
I think.
It's acetaminophen. It's acetaminophen? I'm horrible.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
So true. All I know is he beat Medicare.
I just call it aspirin.
Yeah, it's acetaminophen. You know what? It's what we call it, right? It's aspirin. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Ibuprofen. Just give me some aspirin. Well, I've got ibuprofen. I don't even know just which is the one that's going to take my headache away or whatever it is that I'm at. Just give me the pills.
Right.
Which is part of the problem. So I joke around, do my urban word of the day on my show. I should bring that back here. And today was rom-com job, in honor of the Hallmark thing, which is a job that is really casual and fun and would be perfect for a romance comedy, but there's nothing serious about it, like being a greeting card writer. And I thought, what would be the perfect, I'm a pumpkin farmer.
A competitive pumpkin farmer.
Absolutely. I got a black belt in competitive pumpkin. We did, for you guys don't know, Ken and I next year and Belle, we're going to do synchronized competitive pumpkin farming.
Going to grow some pumpkins.
Big ass. I like that person the other day texted in. I'm like, what do you do to be a competitive? So just grow a bigger pumpkin.
Bigger pumpkin.
I'm like, I don't think that's it. But.
Except I'm going to call mine pumpkins.
Pumpkins. Like diabetes. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Wilford Brimley. I got diabetes.
Diabetes.
There's a shirt now that you could say it's got him on it going, diabetes.
Diabetes.
Though, and I thought to myself, yeah, like owning a jam business, right? Like I'm a candle maker. That is a rom-com job.
Yeah. And you live in a massive house.
I'm an antiques dealer. Really, how do you afford all this making candles? Oh, those are all meth. My candles have a street value.
No doubt.
Oh, goodness me. But I started thinking, like, what is the perfect thing that is that rom-com, it's the jelly factory. It's the, it's the cooking of cookies. Oh, I make cookies.
You're a jam maker. You make jams. And on the side, you get people out of jams.
That's right. Jam here, jam there. Jamming everywhere. Welcome to the jam store. We're only open for December because nobody else wants to buy jams any other time.
Yeah, you're only open for 4 hours a day, and you rake in $200,000 a year.
Yeah, which is, and again, you live in a house that is designed like the Taj Mahal because you make jams.
You make jams.
Oh, my Lord. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. They're holding a press conference right now. Pam Bondi's up there blinking, thinking, you know what, I'm probably going to drop this one too, about the pipe bomber. We'll talk a little bit about that. More out of the hearing today of the boat bombing of the Venezuelan drug dealer, fisherman, who knows what. A bunch of other goodies on the way. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Freezing rain and light winter mix could impact Middle Tennessee late tonight. We'll tell you about it during the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, 2 people are dead after a dog attack in Tullahoma. This man who lives across the street says he was especially horrified to learn one of the victims was a baby.
It's just horrible. And if you just hear about it, it's one thing, but knowing it happened across the street, knowing the people, that's what makes it so difficult.
Yeah, so police say the infant was attacked first. The grandfather then died trying to intervene. It happened yesterday at a home on East Warren Street there in Tullahoma. Officers say they shot one dog. It was aggressive toward them. 6 others were taken by animal control, and the district attorney will investigate to see if any charges are necessary. Federal investigators have named 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. as the individual responsible for planting pipe bombs near Republican and Democratic Party headquarters in Washington, D.C. the night before the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The FBI says it used video analysis, shoe purchase records, cellular data to identify him. Pierre Thomas says the arrest marks a major breakthrough in one of the most persistent cases tied to the Capitol riot.
Concerns that the bombs were somehow related to the riot complicated an already harrowing moment and prompted a massive response. Sources described an incredibly dangerous situation. At one point, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris's motorcade drove right past the bomb at DNC headquarters, which had gone undetected.
So Brian Cole was arrested at his home in Woodbridge, Virginia this morning. Authorities have not yet disclosed his motive or detailed the charges. Heads up for parents of infants. 2 additional cases of botulism have been linked to ByHeart baby formula, bringing the total to 39 cases across multiple states, including Kentucky. No cases have been reported in Tennessee. The FDA warns that despite a full recall by ByHeart, some products are still on shelves at Walmart, Target, Kroger, Acme, and Shaw's. If you have any ByHeart formula at home, officials say do not use it. Throw it out immediately. And the CDC's vaccine advisory panel is meeting in Atlanta today, and they decided to postpone discussing changing the recommendation for hepatitis B vaccines. Since 1991, the CDC has recommended vaccinating against this liver infection at birth, but today they decided to postpone a vote on it. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
The bomber, alleged bomber. I want to say alleged. I don't want to get in trouble. So they just held a press conference, and we'll grab some of that here in a bit. The alleged bomber who, and this is the pipe bombs, January 6th, 2021. Yes, that day. We know his name. The reality is, I've heard everything from he's an anarchist, he's all of these things, but he's facing explosion charges. I don't know what the explosive. What is that? Is it terrorism charges? Are they going after him for that? But they think they have the right person. Now, we were talking earlier. The part of this is, okay, was he part of January 6th? Meaning that he was going to go there that day. This was going to be the first of something. Was it somebody who just was pissed at both parties? So equal opportunity terror, and then bounced, and January 6th happened that he had nothing to do with, and it just was a coincidence. But it took, let's be real. This thing is another one of those situations where it's been out there. And what happens is when you don't address stuff, it becomes the conspiracy. And this was pushed away. And it was inside a file. And people are asking, like, what the hell happened? Like, why did they not go after this person sooner? Because it seemed that they'd kind of had a little bit of an understanding of who this person was, but it was just in a file, from what I understand. And somebody goes, oh, let's take a look. And somebody, Chris and I were talking about it before he bounced it. Some other people out there started making some noise that they had, said it was this person, it was that person. And then the next thing, it started to snowball, and it was this, and it was, for the next few days, I'm sure you're going to hear a gazillion things. It was this, it was that, and the conspiracy theories are going to run wild. So the dust will settle, and maybe we find out that it's just an anarchist, and it was somebody who was pissed at both sides and wanted to cause hell, or maybe there's more to the story. We shall see. Ken, several people have texted in about that horrific dog thing.
Yeah.
And they said this place was dilapidated. It was like almost abandoned, and it sounds like it was the perfect storm for, again, no responsibility for wild animals, because that's what they become at that level.
Yeah.
The dogs. I mean, we should check and see how many people a year die from dogs. How many do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Let's see here. I mean, that's okay. In America, because, again, it's different. Let's, because you go other parts of the world, man, and there are dogs just running wild. You're like, what the hell is this?
Oh, yeah. I remember the town I grew up in for a while in Oklahoma. They had no leash law. Dogs just ran. They just ran rampant.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in the Palm Springs area, and it was one of those, it was like September, going back to school. We were doing a backpack drive, and it was in one of those areas where it wasn't very good. And I pulled up to the school. It's just in a neighborhood. And before I got out of the car, there were a pack of dogs on my car in a neighborhood. And I'm like, I sat in my car for like 10 minutes going, okay, they're just going to leave. And then finally, I called somebody, and I'm like, they're like, no, you got to drive around. You got to go in the fence right now because these dogs are we've got to figure something out. But I'm like, kids walk to school in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just because, and rarely, there's always one little dog with all the big dogs, right? Who seems to be bossing everybody around. But it always seems to be a giant pack of dogs. And you're thinking to yourself, who again thought it was a good idea to get a big dog and have no responsibility for it once it became something that was going to be annoying? And a tragedy. Absolutely horrific. 43 deaths annually by dogs. That's, I mean, you think about that. That's one, every 8.5 days? And we always talk about sharks. You can't adopt a great white shark. Trust me, I've tried. No,
I've got a story about great white sharks coming up here at 1:30.
Oh, another fatal attack?
Nope, but just wait till you hear it.
Oh, I can't wait. I love when he... See, that's called a tease, kids.
That's what you call a tease in the business, yeah.
Yeah, kids, it's a tease. It's a tease. It's a tease. So, dogs are the reason to always conceal and carry. Yeah. Yeah. That is a...
You just never know, man.
No, because they put one of the dogs down.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
Said it rushed them. There were 7 dogs total.
And by the way, that's not that dog's fault that they were adopted into a bunch of people's lives who had zero. They wanted the idea of the dog, and they did not like the responsibility, and now that dog's dead. Because why? Terrified and angry. Because irresponsible people got that animal. There's got to be... I mean, animal abuse is... And I think that to me is animal abuse. Because you're having to put those other 5 dogs aren't going to be rescued.
No.
No.
I wouldn't think so anyway.
They're not. They're not going to be rescued. It's it's crazy. And again, when you have an animal like a pit bull, yeah, there's always a chance for any of these dogs, little ones, big ones, to bite. But when you have an animal like that and you treat it right and it will die for you. It will kill for you to protect you. How many times have you seen videos where you see a little baby brought home and there's a big dog and that thing lays next to it? That thing's willing to do anything for it. How many of you seen that in the last year or two? Do you guys remember when that dog came running? It was like a Ring doorbell. Another dog comes running down the street and there's the little kids playing outside, and you see this dog running, and another dog from behind the kid runs at it and just hammers it. Because that's what dogs are willing to do when you treat them right. And the irresponsible way that people are in today's world. Good God.
That's what a German Shepherd will do for you when you treat them right.
Yeah.
They will absolutely protect that family.
They will. And you know what? It sounds really weird.
Pits will too.
Fitz will, but at some point in time, you're probably going to have to pick him up and throw him at somebody.
No, Pits.
Oh, I thought you said Fritz.
No, Fritz will just jump up into my arms.
Yeah. We better run. Oh, my God. That is crazy. You better run, guys. Oh, it's again, a tragedy. A tragedy that should never have happened. Do you think we should make people... Here's a question for you guys. But by the way, I got a lot of good response on the rom-com job. A lot of you out there are very... also like being a jelly maker. That's a really good jam. Making jams. There's a lot of that. Oh, my Lord. If you're going to have a German dog, you should have it speak German. It's just kind of cooler, isn't it? 9! Once! Jeez, goodness me. All right, so behind closed doors today, the boat attacks. And what have we learned? Well, a lot more questions still out there. There's no doubt about that. And there's a lot of, look, Why we're even thinking about Venezuela, I have no idea. I'm gonna throw. I don't care. I don't. It means nothing to me. Venezuela, it doesn't. Let them live their lives. Well, they do. They're bringing drugs here. Okay, but we should care about what? If we're going to care about the drugs. First of all, we don't seem to care much about the people on the streets who are on drugs in a lot of places. So there's that. Secondly, we've got an addiction problem here in this country that also needs to be addressed. When I ever hear, oh, guys, what about the war on drugs? Well, the war on drugs is over and drugs won. But we don't need to invade another nation. And we certainly don't need to be blowing people up when we're not 100% sure about what's going on. And so they met behind closed doors today, and both Republicans and Democrats, they've got some issues.
What I saw in that room was one of the most troubling things I've seen in my time in public service. You have two individuals in clear distress without any means of locomotion, with a destroyed vessel, who were killed by the United States.
Were they a danger? Were they not? They weren't a danger. Two dudes floating in the ocean. Well, they were going to pick up a phone and what? Order a strike? That wasn't going to happen. We've got to be better, but there's no reason for us to go into Venezuela. There isn't. And first of all, at this moment in time, we don't even have the manpower there to think about doing it. Maybe we can do some sort of, Navy SEAL snatch with Maduro. But here's the problem. Both Trump and Maduro have put themselves in these positions. Trump can't back down now. You can't. Because you're going to look weak and probably strengthen him. And Maduro's got to look strong. He's dancing and this, that, and the other. If you didn't see him the other night, remember when he sang last week? Imagine, or whatever he sang. It was just so awful. But he has to, because if you're a dictator, you have to be a strong man. There's not a fluffy dictator. That doesn't last long because everybody wants your job. So how many people would it take? My military guy says 100,000 men. 100,000. We have 15. Trump's already talking about ground strikes. What does that look like? He hasn't ruled out boots on the ground. And then what? Going into a nation is one thing. Occupying and then trying to set it right is another thing. We rarely stick the landings in these. And the question of what's this going to cost is very real. And again, Venezuela doesn't really have an effect on our lives. It doesn't. I don't go to bed at night going, oh, Venezuela, what am I going to do about that? Nothing. Let them, if they're going to have to fix their own mess. But it feels like we're getting closer. Much, much closer. All right, coming up, Australia, g'day there. Trying to get rid of younger kids and social media. We'll see how that goes, because that always works. Talk a bit about that. You miss any of the show? Shame on you, grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. All right, guys. Prize Picks is awesome. And right now, great opportunity for you to get $50 in free lineups when you download the Prize Picks app and use my code CHAD. So Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app. What do you get when you do this? Well, you get the opportunity to use the knowledge you have, especially with fantasy sports, and understanding the more or less when it comes to the individual athletes and not the teams. So you're picking more or less based on their projected stats. Steph Curry, will he hit more than 4.5 3-pointers? Will Lamar Jackson rush for more than 62.5 yards? And you go from there. It is incredible. You can win up to 2,000 times your money. And the beauty of it is they've got great things like Taco Tuesday, which I love. They've got all kinds of great promotions, including when you download the app now and use my code Chad, you're going to get $50 in instant lineups today. Take this, run with it, and go with a Merry Christmas. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the knowledge you have of sports and start winning now. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Must be 21 in Tennessee. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. Busy Bee. This December, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is spreading the holiday cheer with amazing deals and community giving, which is awesome. First, let's help make the season brighter. And Busy Bee is amazing. You can drop off a toy at Busy Bee headquarters in Lebanon for their toy drive, benefiting less fortunate families in Wilson County. On top of that, they've got great ways to treat yourself, including getting a free Beehive Club membership for free when you bake a Buzz the Bee cookie. Snap a pic and tag them on social media. How about this? You upgrade your water heater this month, you're going to get free 10-year warranty on parts with some exclusions apply. But they've got other things too, like if you've got a clogged main line, 93 are free, still going. Offer gets your drain flowing, or you pay nothing. And when you go and buy the middle tier package for your air duct cleaning, right, they're going to give you the deluxe one for free. So what are you waiting for? Right now, check it out. Big projects as well. Whole home water and drain repipes. They're going to give you a $500 gift card after installation. Busy Bee, buzzing the holiday deals and hometown art. Call them today. 615-775-7833.
Well, the FBI has arrested a man they think planted pipe bombs outside Republican and Democratic Party headquarters the night before the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. But wait till you hear what Attorney General Pam Bondi has to say about the Biden administration over this. We've got that for you coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Do. So Australia is, you got to be over 16 now, 16 or over, to have a social media account. And I don't know how they really enforce that. Here's the thing. The people that you're targeting usually know how to work the stuff better than you do. VPNs, things of that nature. And social media is, look, it's a pain in the ass. What was supposed to be fun long ago, like, hey, grandma, I can converse with her and say hi to my friends and make some new friends, has turned into algorithms that divide us, rage bait, anger, and then you get into the deep depression of kids. You get into the kids who are struggling with all kinds of issues, as well as adults. And it's a sad thing. And it would be great if, I would love Everybody asked me, like, if you weren't doing this job, what would you do? I said I wouldn't have social media outside of an account where I would never post, but just watch some silly things, but mostly connect with a few friends. Because otherwise, if we're that kind of friends, I can always text you or call you. Because that's easier now, too. Remember calling grandma 25 years ago. Do you remember when you had calling cards? You probably don't remember that. You're old enough to remember that. Louis doesn't remember that, but Ken does. When you have like an MCI card, it's like, I got minutes on this thing. Yeah, well, now, when I was in England, I would call my friends back here and vice versa, and my phone bill would be through the roof. I could talk to my friends now over there in Europe. We could text and call. There's nothing. It doesn't cost you anything. So that's gone. So the social media thing, it would be great. And I think the well-being for the kids would be awesome. But do I think it's, going to happen? I think that's a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. I was doing a podcast with a couple dudes here, actually, in Tennessee, and we were talking about, the social media world and the algorithms and how the algorithms drive us in such a way. Because remember, it's all about emotion. Clickbait. It is because if I can get you to act, that's a wonderful thing. If I can get you to text or if I can get you to retweet or to like and subscribe, but also if I can get you to interact if you're a young kid in something, if I can get you to start following me and I can sell you things, and it's, again, and I think a younger generation, like my son and my daughter, Lily, my stepdaughter, she wants a flip phone. And I'm like, you do? She goes, yeah, because it's too much of a succubus. And my son, Jack, the beauty of Jack, because he plays so much sports and he does stuff, you think all kids are tethered to it, and it's not. And he likes spending time with his friends. They like going to the mall. They like the things that we did. It's really weird the way that generation, because we're all addicted, Gen X, we're absolutely addicted.
No, we're not.
Maybe we are. Maybe we aren't,
minute.
Ken. You and I send stuff to each other during the show.
I was getting ready to say, I just saw something. Hold on.
And the millennials, they live on it. But then you get to the alphas and the little bit older Gen Zs, and they want more human contact, which I think is awesome. Because that's what we're lacking, is the humanity. It's easy to hate somebody when it's just letters. It's easy to be upset. It's easy to be, twisted when it's just letters. And you're not really engaging with people. And again, Australia, this is a big, they passed this. This is going to be a big deal. They've had a lot of kids who've had, suicide, and AI's the new one. Now you're getting them off social media, but AI's out there. So that's a whole different ball of wax. And AI, it ain't going anywhere. It isn't. All right, coming up, more good stuff on the way. A lot of stuff. We talked about jobs. We'll have some more in Venezuela. Got some of your text messages as well. Plus, travelers are pushing back on the government, hey, dress a little better attitude, which is just so ridiculous. Again, don't be an a-hole when you're on the plane. It shouldn't be that hard. We're all here. But wait to hear what they're starting to do. We'll talk about that as well. If you're missing the show, grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 997.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Rain moves in this evening and may change to freezing rain and sleet. Ice is the main concern, not snow. We'll tell you more about it during the full forecast in 5 minutes. A horrific dog attack in Tullahoma in South Middle Tennessee has left an infant and her 50-year-old grandfather dead. Investigators say the man was killed while trying to rescue the child. This man lives across the street.
It's just horrible. If you just hear about it, it's one thing, but knowing it happened across the street, knowing the people, that's what makes it so difficult.
Yeah, this happened yesterday afternoon at a home on East Warren Street there in Tullahoma. 7 dogs were involved. One, police say, had to be put down, had to be shot there at the scene. It was aggressive, they say. The FBI has arrested a man they think planted pipe bombs outside Republican and Democratic Party headquarters the night before the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol riot. 30-year-old Brian Cole arrested at his home in Woodbridge, Virginia this morning. Attorney General Pam Bondi slammed the Biden administration, claiming the case languished for 4 years under the previous Justice Department leadership due to mismanagement and lack of urgency.
Today's arrest happened because the Trump administration has made this case a priority. The total lack of movement on this case in our nation's capital undermined the public trust of our enforcement agencies.
Cole was arrested at his home this morning. Authorities have not yet disclosed his motive or detailed charges. Well, here's something to think about before your next trip to the beach. A massive great white shark named Contender has pinged off the coast of the Carolinas. It's 14 feet long and weighs more than 1,600 pounds. It is the largest male white shark ever tagged in the Atlantic. Meanwhile, Bella, a 700-pound shark, has been tracked near Virginia Beach as she heads south for the winter. Both sharks are part of O-Search's research into shark migration and ocean health. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Ugly out there. And you know what? What's happening underneath? Things that you think, nothing's going on, but it's your crawl space, right? Your basement. Is there water down there? Some standing water from before? And next thing you know, it's got hot, and then it's getting cool again, and you've had those cracks, and then you start to get mold, and then you start to get wood rot. Then it is a nightmare. USS can help you with that. Have them come out, especially before it gets too cold and pipes start to worry about freezing and who knows what can happen. Let them get ahead of anything that might happen. It's simple and easy because it doesn't cost you anything, and they're the best around. USS is incredible. United Structural System is truly amazing. They're not going to charge you anything to come out and give you an inspection. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. They'll come out, they'll take a look around, and if you do have something and you get to it early, that's great. And if you do have something, unfortunately, they have to do a lot more. They're going to handle it in a way that you're like, they are the absolute best. USS is incredible. So whether you have issues with your basement walls, foundations, is anything waterproof? Does it need to be waterproof? You name it, they can handle it. USS, call them today, 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. Da-na-na, da-na-na. A lot of people still chiming in about the dogs. Ken, I had to go to the bathroom. What did you say about the sharks?
All right, you ready for this, Brother
I'm
Chad?
ready for this.
You, me, and Bell, we need to go over to the Atlantic Ocean this summer.
Okay.
Take these things out. Do a Captain Quint on them, if you will.
Really? What's going on with them?
All right. So, a massive great white shark named Contender has pinged off the coast of the Carolinas. Ooh. This thing is 14 feet long. He weighs 1,600 pounds. He is the largest male great white ever tagged in the Atlantic.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Bella, a 700-pound great white, was tracked near Virginia Beach, 20 miles off the beach, as she heads south for the winter.
Yeah.
Better look out for those two.
Absolutely.
They're probably going to get together and make baby sharks.
Yeah, and by the way, you know how long it takes for a great white? It takes them, 30, 40 years before they're sexually mature?
Really?
Yeah, it takes them a long, long time before they're sexually mature. And that's, they are.
That's a big old shark.
They're very solitary. And when you see them all scarred up, that's them trying to mate. It's not a pretty picture, I'm sure. It's not. It is not one of those like, hey, baby, can I buy you a drink? It's none of that stuff going on. And the other thing is, place like, was it South Africa where all of the sharks disappeared, all the great whites? Because those two killer whales that hunt together were killing all the great whites, so they went somewhere else. All the sharks just moved.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize killer whales, they handle those sharks.
Yeah, they do. Very few. There's very, very few things in the ocean that will go after a killer whale. I think you have a sperm whale, if need be, but
maybe a sperm whale.
There is there's another group of something similar to sperm whales that are smaller than sperm whales, and it's the one thing that killer whales will avoid because they hunt in packs of like 200, and they're afraid of nothing. And that's, it's one thing if it's one-on-one, the killer whale's going to destroy you. But if you've got 10 killer whales and you've got 200 other whales that are bigger, yeah, that's not a good fight.
It's like chimpanzees. Have you seen those videos of wild chimps and how they hunt? Yeah. Man, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Chimps.
They are extremely intelligent.
Yes, they use tools. Have you seen some of the stuff they found out about, like the wild apes and chimps and stuff? Not only did they use tools, they use medicine. They use medicine. They're like, hey.
And they communicate.
Again, creepy.
If you're a monkey and unfortunately you are around a pack of chimps, you're dead.
Yeah. They will... the chimps
are vicious, man.
And they have biting power.
Yes.
And they have like canines.
Yes.
They are not a friend of people. Like, who made this? Who thought this will be fun?
It's fascinating to watch, man, because one of them will watch in the trees and will track where the prey is going, and then he'll make noises. And the other chimps will respond, and they'll fan out. And it's incredible to watch.
It is incredible. I love watching, like, the animal world and the way that things, like you said, they're crows and wolves. They've been seen. Have you seen this? They're starting to hunt together.
Interesting.
Where a wolf will be out looking for food or whatever, and a crow will come and slam into the back of it and then take off again flying, and the wolf will go and follow it because it's spotted prey.
Interesting.
And then what it does is it tears apart what it needs and it leaves the rest for the crows as like, here, a thank you.
Yeah, the crows get the scraps.
Yeah, good God.
Because the crows, they can't take care of it themselves.
No.
They got to have the scraps.
What we're telling you people, okay, that you're not understanding is they're working together to take us over. We talked about the raccoons, right? They're shrinking their faces so they look cuter. It's only to get in our houses.
Well, and liquor stores.
Oh, yeah. You guys want to hear this? By the way, this whole thing is just hilarious because local news is always at times hilarious.
A crime alert tonight with a particularly furry suspect who is apparently not old enough to drink.
He went to college. Just to let you know to do that. He's got $200,000 in debt. Oh, furry friend. Did what?
On Saturday, animal control officers caught a raccoon, red-handed or red pod, passed out inside an ABC store after helping itself to bottles of alcohol. 8 News reporter Sarah Molina spoke with the responding officer. She joins us live in our studio now with this unusual case, Sarah.
Well, guys, this is one that you truly have to see to believe. Employees at the Ashland ABC store tell me that the little guy was found literally face down next to the toilet, leaving behind a trail of broken bottles, ransacked shelves, and one very confused cleanup crew. And tonight I learned that this tipsy little troublemaker, now an internet sensation, is actually bringing the community together.
Oh, it is. Bringing the community together. What tipsy troublemaker is that? Well, kids, it's a trash panda. It is the furry Hamburglar that decided, I got a problem.
He locked himself in the bathroom, passed out drunk after he probably knocked over a good 30 to 40 bottles of liquor.
Officer Samantha Martin is not describing a college party or a bachelor weekend. She's describing a raccoon.
Supposedly he crashed the ABC store on Black Friday. He was found right when the store manager got there.
Martin, an animal control officer for the Hanover County Animal Protection, says the call came in on Saturday morning. And the pictures tell the story. The little guy passed out face down next to the toilet, surrounded by broken bottles and shelves that look like they lost a bar fight.
Listen, you jerk. I don't know if you guys know this, but I like to drink. If you guys have not seen the picture of the raccoon, he is splayed out on all fours, face and belly to the ground. He's done. He needs an intervention.
And this crime of passion was actually not caught on camera. Officer Martin tells me that the way this sneaky little bandit got inside of the ABC store here is by falling through those ceiling tiles, wiping out all security camera footage as he fell through the ceiling. And it's taken the internet by storm.
I thought it was just a generic viral post that happened somewhere else, and I was stunned that it just happened up the street from our house.
Ashley and Quincy Brown say they stopped by the ABC store off North Washington Highway to see the scene of the crime for themselves.
I saw it around lunchtime, and I immediately sent it to so many friends, so I can see why everyone else loves it. It is just the cutest, funniest, silliest thing.
I named him. You named him? What'd you name him?
Raccoony Coon.
Raccoony Coon. Support Raccoony Coon. And they're not the only ones.
He must have been going through a lot of stuff. He must have just been too stressed out. Kids at home, mom, probably thrown through the roof, who knows?
An incident bringing the community together. Martin says the raccoon was released back into the wild after sleeping off his bad decisions for a few hours.
This is bad. Let me tell you guys something. Okay, I hate all of you. First of all, the name's not Raccoony Coon. I hate you. Let's get married.
The picture of it laying face down cracks me up.
And the fact that it fell through everything, and they made it seem like, oh my God, people are going to know that I was here. I should go wipe the cameras clean. But he knocked over 16 bottles. He's like, well, it's already there. I should probably drink it. And the picture says everything. It's the kind of thing where it feels like that kind of week.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been one of those weeks, kids. So, not only are raccoons trying to become, they're already starting to get, domesticated because they're now drinking. But the other great story of the day is we've been talking about animals. And I don't know what this says about us as Americans, but
now to a possible weight loss breakthrough for your pets. One drug company announced that a study of popular GLP-1 drugs similar to Ozempic and Wegovy for overweight cats. Our Gio Benitez is here with more on this. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Michael, guys, good morning to you. This is actually really fascinating and could eventually help keep your pets at home healthy if they suffer from obesity. So here's what we're talking about. A pharmaceutical company out of San Francisco, it's called Ocava, is beginning a pilot study of a GLP-1 drug for cats with obesity.
A GLP-1 for your fat ass cat? What? How about you just stop feeding your cat? Right? Because the cat doesn't have thumbs, right? It's not a raccoon, so it's not getting into anything. It's not going to make a sandwich. What happened? It came in and he opened up the refrigerator, right? And he made himself all the food in there. How about that? That you think would be the easiest, but no.
They're calling it Meow One, and they're doing it differently than adults. Not a weekly injection. A vet leading the study told the New York Times that it's a small implant that slowly releases the medication for 6 months. The company expects to get the results back by summer here, then start a larger clinical trial with hopes of getting FDA approval in 2 years or less. So if it all works out, it could be a game changer for both cats and dogs, because it turns out that 60% of all dogs and cats in America are clinically obese. Hundreds of thousands of them have diabetes. Now, some vets are actually already doing this off-label for pets with diabetes, but they are calling this the new frontier in medicine for your pets.
They're calling this a new way to fleece you at the vets. You could try not feeding your animal all the scraps. That's not going to work, sir. I need it to not come over to the table and eat my food. You don't feed Fritz any kind of junk food, do you? I wouldn't. Ken's too mature.
No, I do not.
That's good.
Nothing from the table at all.
That's good. And he doesn't get up there and try to steal it.
Well, he can. He's too short.
That's the beauty of it. That's why you get little dogs.
Gotta get little fellas.
I've gotten. Did you get the text from Dan Mandis?
No.
It is sleeting outside.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. So there is sleet out there. The weather wizard is going to have the latest on that because
I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that one freaking bit.
It's here, right? And I mean, we can recognize the fact that I looked at the 30-day, right? And the 30-day showed we're not getting anywhere near 60, maybe one day this month. And there's a lot of 30s and a lot of overnight lows in the teens.
It's not even winter yet.
No,
it's still fall.
Here's the thing. This year, because what are they calling that? The Arctic bomb or whatever. They're saying, and I said this, they said December's maybe the coldest December in history, and not just here, but like especially at the Northeast and to the Midwest. And on top of that, they said it's going to be front-loaded with the cold, but mild in the second half of winter. But winter's not here.
No, not yet.
It
Won't
is
be
for
here
us.
until the 21st.
I'll tell you what, you better go look outside, my friend.
I don't like it.
I'm going to take a quick peek.
I'm looking at radar right now, and yes, I am seeing that freezing precipitation is falling. It is mainly along and north of I-40. The vast majority of it is west of 65. But it's creeping this way. Everything north of I-40, even all the way down to Memphis, is just a rain, snow, sleet mix. Everything south of I-40 is just rain. Dude, we're going to have to go south of I-20.
We might have to.
We might have to just move our studios down to Florida.
All right.
I know you got hurricanes there.
No, it just never. You can't go to California to have earthquakes.
You can't get away.
You go to the desert in Arizona, and it's 138 degrees in the summer, and they got monsoons, right?
And fires.
Fires. Oh, God, the fires. It just never ends, people. That's why you need us and the weather wizard. Speaking of that, he's coming up soon. Tell you what he's going to do at the top of the hour. A bunch of other stuff still on the way. Yes, Fat Cat Wagovy is coming to a town near you. What would you pay for that? Would you even do that for your cat? Let us know. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk, 99.7. Birch Gold right now is something amazing for you. A little something for your stocking. So when you purchase gold from Birch Gold, for every $5,000 you spend, you're going to get an ounce of silver up 60% this year alone for free for every $5,000. Why gold? Smart time. AI, will the bubble burst, won't it? What's going to happen with the economy? What's going to happen with rates? The weakening of the dollar, the fear that there is some issues that are happening that, are global impact, not just here in America, but I'm talking globally. So to protect yourself, what should you do? Gold. Been around forever. It's not going anywhere. And you can move an existing IRA or 401k over simple and easy with Birch Gold and get it back by a tax-sheltered IRA in gold. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau. Find out the info on how you can get the free silver and get all the info you need on everything they do at Birch Gold by texting Benson to 989898 now. That's the word Benson. Text it to 989898 for Birch Gold.
Yeah, radar is showing a wintry mix, mainly west of Nashville and north of I-40. Everything south of I-40 is just rain, so that's something we're going to have to watch. Also, a tragic dog attack in Tullahoma has claimed 2 lives, and an arrest has been made for the pipe bombs planted outside Republican and Democratic Party headquarters in D.C. the night before the January 6th riot at the Capitol. All this and more at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Yeah, a lot of people out there, Ken, are tuning in for the weather wizard. So we had swamp ass. We got to come up with something for the colder weather.
Vulgar.
Vulgar?
Vulgarity.
Offensive.
Yes.
So, because we got to build the whole thing around it, you know? Okay, we can't just come out and say it. We got to have the sound effects and all the things for when the weather wizard gets wizarding. And it's this week is, well, like you said, man, it's here. It's not going anywhere. Sorry, folks. It's happening. And I've seen some people out there predict like crazy lows here. The 30-day that I've seen from a couple places, they don't predict that. But you know what? You never know. I mean, the what they're talking about through the Midwest, I mean, just this past few days through Maine, upstate New York, and all these places through the Midwest. Oh, my God, how cold was it?
Yeah, the high today in Chicago is supposed to be 3.
That's not good.
Which, Chicago, it's usually like that, you know, in the winter.
In the winter, like February.
Yeah, some places in Minnesota, and Wisconsin, the wind chill today was minus 25.
Oh, you know, we're a hardy people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you need to.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be I was telling Dave downstairs, I said, this is the day for me that I would be like, I'm going to go golfing. Why? Because nobody's out there.
Nobody's
right?
there.
I'm the opposite guy when it comes to golf. Why? Because I can go out and play 3 balls and I'm fine. And when I lived in Arizona, I'd golf some during the winter and spring and, you know, a little bit in the fall. But when the summer came, man, I'm out there every day. It's 120. I don't care. I got sunscreen. I'm in a cart. And I actually like a bit of the warmth. So what do you think of apples that are those apples?
Yeah, what do you think about that?
What do you think about that? All right, coming up, hour number 3 of the program, talk a little bit about jobs, talk a little about Venezuela, maybe Somalis, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what lights our fancy. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Hour number 3 of the program today. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, I'm looking on radar, and it looks like there is a definite wintry mix west of Nashville. It's mainly west of Nashville and along and north of I-40, the wintry mix, then just rain south of I-40. But it could turn to rain, sleet, and snow all over Middle Tennessee at some point today. We'll just have to keep an eye on it for you, and we'll get you more details during the full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, a tragic dog attack in Tullahoma is under investigation. It claimed 2 lives. This neighbor says he came home yesterday afternoon to find a woman in the middle of the street screaming.
I tried to help. I came up on her and asked her what was going on. She wouldn't answer me. She ran off. Then I heard 1 siren, and then I heard more and knew the cavalry was coming, basically. And we started hearing that the 2 dogs had attacked 2 family members and killed them.
Yeah, so police say an infant was mauled inside the home there on East Warren Street, and a 50-year-old man, the grandfather, died trying to save the child. Police say 7 dogs were seized. They had to shoot one of them as it charged officers. The district attorney there to determine if any charges will be filed on the dogs' owners. An arrest has been made for the pipe bombs planted outside Republican and Democratic Party headquarters in D.C. the night before the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. was arrested this morning at his home in Woodbridge, Virginia. This is now nearly 5 years after the fact. Attorney General Pam Bondi slammed the Biden administration, claims they had plenty of evidence but lacked good management and a sense of urgency.
Let me be clear. There was no new tip. There was no new witness. just good, diligent police work and prosecutorial work.
She says the FBI, U.S. Attorney Pirro, and all of her prosecutors worked months sifting through the evidence that had been sitting at the Biden FBI for all of this time. We still don't know a motive following the arrest of this 30-year-old man, Brian Cole. More promising news for potential home buyers, but what will mortgage rates look like next year? Here's Brian Clark.
Mortgage rates are down for the second week in a row. Freddie Mac's survey found the national average for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 6.19%. That's half a percentage point lower than this time a year ago. Federal Reserve's expected to cut interest rates next week, but economists are expecting rates to remain above 6% for most of 2026.
And back here in Middle Tennessee, one person has died in a house fire on East Division Street in Mount Juliet. This according to Wilson County Emergency Management, Wilson County Sheriff's Office, and TBI investigating the cause. East Division Street there near Golden Bear Gateway was closed, and you were asked to avoid the area. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thunderstruck. No thunder. What's the snow thunder? When there's snow thunder and that guy from the Weather Channel just loses his mind. He's like, this is amazing. It's like double rainbow guy. Oh my God, it's two rainbows. It's two rainbows. People are sitting in. We're trying to. So we have swamp ass.
Yeah.
You went with vulgar.
Vulgar.
We have got several people. Frozen hose, shrinkage, ice ass.
Ice ass.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that one. Ice ass. Ice ass news. So how long are we going to feel the precipitation, chances of snow and sleet? What's your sense of this?
Let's see. Through tomorrow morning at least.
Are we going to get any, we're not going to get anything that sticks, though, right?
I don't know. I mean, they're saying most of that will happen along the Kentucky border, but, who knows?
No, you don't know.
Who knows for sure?
No, but thunder, snow.
Yeah, let's see. This afternoon, we're actually supposed to get to 43 degrees today. I don't know if that's happening.
No,
it's
I don't
38
think so.
right now.
Yeah, it's 38, and I don't foresee it getting to 4.
Tomorrow, patchy fog, high of 45.
Man, they've got snow tonight at 9. 55% chance of snow.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. I love it.
If it was just snow, okay. But the problem here is it's ice.
Yeah. Therein lies when you get out there and it's that sleet, that slush.
That's the vulgar part.
That is vulgar. That's not ice ass. That's just evil. Because well, you talked about, first of all, the elderly do not drive well here for whatever reason.
Yeah, that report.
Yeah.
And says Tennessee is among the states in the nation that have the highest rate of older drivers involved in fatality crashes.
Man, that is not good.
Got a lot of older drivers here in Tennessee.
We do. We got a lot of older drivers here in Tennessee.
But I'm only 57.
Well, you're not old.
Yeah. They're talking about people 65 and over.
You know what's interesting?
It's those boomers.
Those boomers. You know who you are. You guys are ruining everything for everybody.
Wait till Gen X gets to 65.
We're going to
we're probably not going to make it.
We are, because we're rocking and rolling, baby. Have you watched any of those videos on where they compare pictures from like the 60s and 70s and 80s of high schoolers compared to today? You're like, that's a grown man. He's got 6 kids and a mortgage.
I tell my parents all the time. I mean, I've looked at my, over the years, I always looked at my parents' yearbooks, from, let's see, Dad graduated in 65, or no, 62. My mom graduated high school in 65. And I said, you all look like your parents.
Yes.
Like you all look like you're already 30 years old.
It is when you... Do you remember Bob Hope used to do the All-American football and he'd bring them out? Football.
Yes.
He would bring out these guys and you're like, that guy should have retired 8 years ago for being too old to play. The look... there's something about, again, it's a harder life, kids. We're getting younger. Like, you know what's weird? Go look at Cocoon, the movie. You remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
So, Wilford Brimley in that movie was younger than us. Ken, he was.
I know.
Yeah, he was like 50 or 49 or something like that. He's one of those guys that I think he came out cantankerous and old. Saying,
he was just born that way.
Yeah. So, diabetes. He came out, first words were, I got diabetes. You kids are the worst. Well, you look at the Golden Girls, right?
Yeah.
Like
they were like in their 40s and 50s?
Yes.
Except for B. Arthur's, the woman who played B. Arthur's character's mother.
Yeah, but Estelle Getty.
Yeah.
But she wasn't that old.
She was probably in her 60s.
I don't think she was.
Wow.
I think she was younger than one of them. You know what's funny? B. Arthur kind of got to where she was, and then she looked the same the entire time.
She did.
Right? She got to I'm 35, but I look 55. When she was 75, she looked 55. So,
See, that's one of those shows that you can just have on. I love the Golden Girls, man. That show cracks me up.
That
or
and Alf.
cracked me up.
Alf. It's me, Alf.
Hey.
Me, Alf. It was different, man. I look back and I'm thinking to myself, these kids today look so young, right? Like they look like kids. And I'm like, did we look like kids? Because I look at pictures where I look like a kid. And then I look at high school and I'm like, man, there's a lot of grown adults that, that are smoking, but I think he's in 8th grade. It's just bizarre. So bizarre. Oh, Wilford. Wilford was great.
Remember whenever he played the Postmaster General in Seinfeld?
Yes.
Because Kramer was protesting all of the junk mail.
Diabetes.
They put Kramer under the light.
I was looking back because I was, I joke about it because I told my wife I want to order one of the shirts that says, if you haven't seen the diabetes, not diabetes, diabetes.
Diabetes?
Yeah. Shirts that's out there. And I was just, because I'm like, I don't ever remember. I mean, I don't even know what he looks like young. I don't even know if they have pictures of him young. I think they just have pictures of, he just had that mustache and that look of anger. The look of anger. Let's see here. Estelle Getty was turned down for the part because she looked too young with Golden Girls.
Who was?
Estelle Getty. She was actually the youngest of the 4.
No.
Yeah. See, I thought so too, but wow.
That's weird.
That is weird. That is weird. But she had to go. What was that? Tootsie. Remember Tootsie?
Yeah.
You couldn't do that today. Oh my God, you're culturally appropriating stuff. It is amazing though how the way that we have aged. And the way that, because we're so and it's true. We joke about, turn of the 19th century, from that, from 1899 to 1900, it's like you got to 40, you're like, man, I don't think you could live this long. I don't think anybody could. Because everybody died young, and you go watch those old Westerns, and it's like there's only one guy in town over 50 because everybody died of scurvy and they got a scratch.
Yeah, you could die of anything.
Yeah.
Appendicitis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Appendicitis was killing people up into the 60s, I think.
If you had, the reason you had 12 kids and 6 wives, because they're probably going to die in childbirth, and because most of them aren't going to get past 5. So, I mean, that's horrible. I mean, that's horrible to think, but yeah, I mean, there was just the where we have come from is so fascinating. And if you took somebody from the 1500s and you dropped them off in the 1800s, there's not a lot that's different. You take somebody from 1899 and drop them off in 1969 and we got a dude on the moon, that's a culture shock. That's the culture shock. No, Rue McClanahan was the youngest, and then it was Estelle.
Yeah, Rue McClanahan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mama's Family. That's right. Vicki Lawrence. She also playing old.
I think she's still alive.
Yeah,
too.
Vicki's alive. We used to go. So here's a little little shake and bake for you guys right here. Little flex. She has a house in Belmont Shore, and we all knew, which is like very she back in the day. It's one of those places on the beach. You always go to her house because she was always handing out full-size Snicker bars.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Rue.
Thank you very much, kids. Thank you very much. Flex!
Full size, not bite size.
No raisins for her, kids.
No, sir.
Damn raisin
No,
eaters.
sir.
You guys know who it is. The sleet now is in West Nashville. It's happening faster. Ice ass is coming.
Ice ass.
Snow-nami. That's a good one. That's something the Sci-Fi Channel would do.
Yeah, this interesting pattern this thing has. Yeah, it's not everywhere north of 40, that you're getting the freezing precipitation, but that's where most of it is.
I'd rather drive in snow than sleet, though.
Absolutely, man. Snow is no problem. Dry snow is no problem, and that's what we mostly had in Boise. I mean, you could have 2-3 inches of just dry snow, and I mean, you can drive fine on that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen here. It's ice.
It's ice. And then it becomes, it becomes the battle of is something getting slick, black ice here, something, and it's just one side. It's awful.
And when I moved to Tennessee, I didn't think I'd ever see it again.
But alas, it has come. Oh, by the way, it's now snowing in Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Yes. It's sleeting on to 440. It's all happening, kids. The weather is attacking us all at once. By the way, we're going to be out at the toy field. What's that going to be like?
You ever done that?
I've not done that.
It's a lot of fun.
You're out there, right?
No, I'll be
No,
here.
you're going to be out there. You're coming out there. You and I are going to go have fun. What's it going to be on Tuesday? 49. Okay, that's not bad. Doesn't look like there's going to be some rain.
That's perfect. So we need good weather for the toy field drive.
Yeah.
We need good weather for it.
I'm deciding, I'm trying to figure out, should I wear my Santa suit or should I wear I've got Santa overalls that are pretty awesome.
Yeah, do overalls because Santa's still working right now.
He is.
He's got some last-minute details that, last-minute things he's got to work on.
Yeah, the kids.
Got to change the oil, in the sleigh.
In the reindeer?
Yeah, in the rain.
Got to change the oil in the reindeer. Got to change. Speaking of Santa, you guys want to hear Creed do Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer?
Creed?
Yeah. I've got Creed doing it. It's AI, but it is incredible. It really is. That's what I love. AI is awful. I've got your Christmas song. I'm tweaking it. I want to make sure it's right for you because it's the song I know you love to hate at Christmas time. But this is AI.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Oh, it gets better. It really takes off, rocking style.
I love the other reindeer. Used to laugh and call him
names.
They never let Rudolph join in any reindeer games. And one foggy Christmas Eve, oh, Santa came to say, can you take me higher to a place where
AI is both evil and hilarious.
At the same time.
At the same time, kids. At the same time. Interesting question. We were talking about that I want to ask you guys out there. We're talking about the medicine for your animals, the weight loss drug. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I want an honest answer. We'll do that when we come back. Among other things, it is Chad Benson Show. Super Town, 99 cents. Relief Factor. Get your relief on. And I do each and every day. I take it every single day. Relief Factor is great. Let me tell you something. It is not addictive. It is natural. It's got omega-3 fatty acids. It's got resveratrol and curcumin and acarin and all this stuff. And it helps with the inflammatory, especially with your muscles, right? The aches and pains in your body as you get older, just naturally aging. It sucks, man. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, man. It ain't for the weak. It ain't for the young. And this stuff is amazing. I take it every single day, especially because I've been doing Tai Chi. I don't know if you guys noticed. I'm getting a little thinner, working out a little bit. Do a lot of Tai Chi, doing a lot of working out. And it helps me each and every day where I don't feel like I don't want to work out because my muscles are sore. So try it. 3-week jumpstart, just $19.95. Less than a cup of coffee a day. You will not be disappointed. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4RELIEF. And when you do, tell them Chad sent you for Relief Factor.
All right, drivers, we've got a crash over here on 40 westbound right before Fessler's Lane. Then Talbot's Corners, 65 southbound. They're at Trinity Lane. Radar now showing some of this freezing precipitation in the metro area, mainly along and north of I-40. Everything south of I-40, for the most part, is just rain. But we're expecting more of this throughout the afternoon, tonight, and early tomorrow morning. Then we got the top stories for you, including that horrific dog attack in Tullahoma that took 2 lives, coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Let's go there. Let's go there. We're just doing. Tomorrow I've got
Scott Stapp.
Man, I'll tell you what, when they were on their game, Creed.
They were awesome, man.
Like when he flipped his hair, and like some people you look at, like Michael Hutchins from InXS, you're like, that guy's a rock star.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have sold you shoes at Payless, and panty drop. Oh my Lord. We'll get to the dog thing here in a minute, and cat thing, because I think it's funny again. But I also think I have a serious question today, though. This was great. I get a listener here. First of all, goes, "Why the hell are you awake?" As most people do, because I'm an odd person. Sends me a soccer chant. Tomorrow is the World Cup draw. So at noon tomorrow, the World Cup draw is happening, and it's like Tom Brady. It is Shaquille. Hey, it's me, Shaquille O'Neal, and they'll all be reaching in. The whole world. There'll probably be 500 million people watching it worldwide, maybe 1 billion. The World Cup draw. And he sends me this funny chant. I said, I'll tell the story today. So when I got to England, there was no really any Americans playing over there throughout Europe. And they did a chant for me that was so hilarious. And first of all, our team sucked. Yeah, we weren't very good anyways. And so everybody had a really funny chant. And they said, there's only one Chad Benson. There's only one Chad Benson. There's only one Chad Benson. We're the worst team in the league. Oh my God. I laughed.
So when you guys would be out on the town at pubs and things like that, man, would you get dirty looks?
You know what? Sometimes.
Yeah.
But a lot of times everybody was really cool.
Yeah.
They for me too, it was unique. I was like a 3-headed monster. So you're a Yank and you play football.
Football.
I said, yeah. I said, I saw you play for our team. Like, you play football. I'm like, yes. And so that was a surprise. But yeah, you'd get some looks.
Because they take it seriously.
Yeah,
man.
it's a religion. I don't think if you guys don't remember the '94 World Cup, just tell me this: take the greatest. We were talking about 56 million people watching that Cowboys game.
Yeah.
The World Cup is bigger than all college football, all NFL, all NASCAR, all Formula One, all the Olympics rolled in. Games that you think on a Tuesday afternoon during the World Cup next year will draw 1.5 billion people worldwide watching it.
People won't be working.
They won't.
They'll be in the pubs.
Yes, and they'll be everywhere. They'll be, and just Google when Iceland made a run in the European Cup a few years ago, the entire country, basically of 300,000 people, came to like the town square to watch their team play, and they do
That's awesome.
They do the Viking chant, and it's incredible, and it's it's just a different world, especially for the country, and it's the whole world next year is going to be on our country starting in really probably like tomorrow it starts, but starting January 1st and on, you watch the hype as it runs up. First of all, whether it's the Olympics, the Super Bowl, the NCAA, Final Four, nobody does what we do, right? The rest of the world's trying to catch up.
Yeah.
To all the oomph, but nobody does. We put on a big show like nobody, and this is going to be incredible.
So what is the draw?
So the draw tomorrow is all of the teams that have qualified their names go into the little thing, and then they pull it out.
And they tell you who you're going to play.
You
and
have
that sort of
Group
thing.
1, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. So we're in Group 1. And so we'll be drawn up against, a team from Group 2. And then, whoever that is. And then the Group 3. And then there's still some teams that are playing and qualifying. But it's, because then you start to say, okay, now we can break it down. So this is who we're going to play. It's going to be crazy. So, I'll be talking about that. So just deal with it.
Who's the best right now?
Spain.
Spain.
Argentina shows up big, but if I had to put my money on who's going to win next year, yes, Spain. I think we're going to make a run. I think we have a shot because you can't discount home field advantage.
Right.
We're way better than we ever were in 94. And I think we've got a shot to make a run to the quarter. I'd be disappointed if we don't get to the quarters.
All right.
And I think we will. And the thing is, it starts to build, and then the next thing you know, all of a sudden we're in the round of 32, and then the round of 16, and everybody's at every bar watching the game because people get excited because that's what we do. We follow gymnastics. We get excited for that in the middle of the day.
Maybe that's what you, me, and Bell and Brother Louie will do. We'll just go hop on one of these pedal taverns with a little TV.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, it is. I think that's something we should be doing. I think we should really think about it.
Maybe we ought to do that even if there isn't a soccer game.
You know what? Maybe. Just to show everybody we know how to pedal. We're really good. It's the Tour de Drunk. All right. Coming up, I got a good question for you guys about animals and the cost of their health care and just what we do here, the insanity. It'll be fun. We'll talk a little bit about the economy, but probably not because you and I know that we'll start talking about other things. Chad Benson, Super Talk 987.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, radar is showing most of the freezing precipitation is west of 65 and north of I-40. Everything south of I-40 is pretty much just rain. It's something we're going to have to keep an eye on for you. Gives you some details on what is next, what's going to happen with this thing coming up during the full forecast in 5 minutes. Here in Tennessee, authorities in Tullahoma are investigating a horrific dog attack. It killed a baby and a grandfather. This man is a neighbor who says he arrived home yesterday afternoon to a woman screaming in the middle of the street. He tried to help her, but she ran into the backyard of a home there on East Warren Street.
And we started hearing that the two dogs had attacked two family members and killed them. We had no idea that anything like this would ever happen here. It's just horrible.
Yeah, police say the grandfather was killed trying to save the child. Animal control removed 7 dogs from the property. They say they had to shoot one that charged officers. Nearly 5 years after the fact, the FBI's made an arrest for the pipe bombs the night before the January 6, 2021 U.S. Capitol attack. 30-year-old Brian Cole arrested at his home in Woodbridge, Virginia this morning. Investigators relied on surveillance footage and digital evidence to track him down. Attorney General Pam Bondi slamming the Biden administration, saying this should have happened much sooner, saying there was no new leads or tips leading to this morning's arrest.
The FBI, along with U.S. Attorney Pirro and all of our prosecutors, have worked tirelessly for months, sifting through evidence that had been sitting at the FBI with the Biden administration for 4 long years.
Authorities have not yet disclosed the motive or detailed charges. And a new report shows Tennessee ranks among the worst states for older drivers involved in fatal crashes. The state's rate is more than 22 deaths per 100,000 licensed drivers age 65 and older, which is well above the national average of 15.9. Experts say the growing senior population means that trend could worsen. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Beacon Capital. They're local and they're amazing, and sit down with them. Whether you have questions when it comes to your retirement, dollars and cents, right? Maybe you've got questions when it comes to things like taxes. Oh, you didn't know they can help you with taxes? They can. Maybe issues with, you're at that point. It's like you got to start thinking about maybe estate planning, a trust. What do we do here? What about long-term care? What about insurance? They can help you with all of those things. The beauty of Beacon, including your taxes. This is what I want you to do. Absolutely free, personalized financial consultation. When I mean they're awesome, they are just the coolest people. There's no hard sell, any of that stuff. They just want to have a conversation with you. Maybe you need one of these. Maybe you need all of these. Let Beacon have a chance. 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Check them out online at beaconcm.com. beaconcm.com for Beacon Capital Management. This is a paid placement. All right, guys. Birch Gold. Gold! Right now, Birch Gold, from now until the 22nd of this month, when you go and you buy $5,000 worth of gold from Birch Gold, they're going to give you an ounce of silver for free, up 60% this year. Gold is through the roof. Why? Because people are looking to diversify globally. People are worried about what's going on. Inflation, AI bubble. Could there be a recession? All of the things. It's just a great way to protect yourself. Let Birch help you with that. You can move over an IRA or a 401k and have it. You get a gold-backed, tax-sheltered IRA, and they can help you with that. You can get the physical as well and take advantage of what they've got going on when it comes to free silver. So what do? Text the word Benson now to 989898. From my friends at Birch Gold, they're going to get you out all the info. They're A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they're awesome. That's the word Benson. Text to 989898 now for Birch Gold. Some of you chiming in about soccer. You guys and your soccer. Let me tell you, the World Cup, and this one they've expanded. It's 48 teams. It's over a month. It's going to be a carnival. And you will, if you have a chance to go to a game, you go to a game, and you might, it's like the U.S. isn't playing, but why would, trust me, you go to a game, and it's unlike anything ever. And next thing you know, you're rooting for Norway, and because you're hanging out with their fans, and there's so much fun, and it's a different thing. It is. We talked earlier, joking around about the obesity epidemic among our animals, because much like us, they're fat. They do really resemble us.
Yeah, I can't believe Fritz isn't taller.
So it's interesting, the amount of money that we spend. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is crazy. So, and I would like to know how much money is too much for you and I'm not talking about if your pet is 16 and's been through it. I'm talking about you love your dog or your cat and they're 4 years old and it's your family. Like, what is your limit money-wise? Because I think a lot of people, and according to this, it's insane what we spend. Are you ready for this, Ken?
I'm ready, dude.
If the U.S. spending was a nation, it would be number 65 as far as GDP.
Wow.
We spend more money on our animals than about 130 nations. GDP. This year we'll get close to, and this is without the food or any of that stuff. I'm just talking about your Halloween costumes, your vet bills, the things that we spend on our animals that are not just the day-to-day snacks and stuff. It is incredible. In fact, we spent almost $1 billion on Halloween.
Man.
Right? That's crazy.
No wonder I can't find any candy.
On average, we spend $24 per holiday on our pets.
$24?
Yep, on average.
Yeah, that's
so
probably about right.
Now, how much would you spend, though, on your animal?
Like for health care?
Mm-hmm. Because we all say, I wouldn't do this. Then the next thing you know, your kid's there, you're looking, and it's your dog, and it's memories. And again, it's not your dog is 17 and Spike can barely move. And no, that's a different thing. We're talking about your cat being, that cat that you love or this, that. It
might be 4 or 5 years old
mm-hmm.
and there's a growth.
There's a growth. And so we had a cat. We called him Threador, right? He shows up at our house one day out of nowhere. Shows up at our house. And we're like, what's this cat doing? And we're like, well, it's in our garage. He stayed overnight. Then the next day he was in there again. And the next day he was in there again. Then he came into our house one night and he was just there. He came through the doggy door. It was just there. It was there. And then finally we're like, I guess he's ours because we couldn't find anything. So we love this cat. Threador was awesome. Threador, and he wasn't called Threador originally. After about a month and a half, and he was the greatest cat in the world, he comes in our house and his leg is dangling. Some kids had shot him.
Oh, man.
So we rushed him to the vet. Take him to the vet. And they said, oh, we found the owners. Oh, we're like, great. Bummer for us, but great. Yeah, they said you guys can have him. I'm like, what? Yeah, we told him how much it was going to be to fix him because we're going to have to amputate his arm. And they said, you guys could have him because kids already think the cat's dead. And apparently their level was $6,000 because that's what it cost to get Theodore. That's why we called him Threador. And I'm like, the cat was amazing. So we, and again, I'm blessed and lucky. And so we got it. But we called him Threador because he then had 3 legs. And he wandered around on his 3 legs. 3, what's up? And he just be bouncing around. Little fella. But some of you guys, if it's more than $0, I'm out. $2,500 for a fish hook removal. Chad, $200 and it's over. So it is, taxidermy is cheaper. So, and it's funny. A lot of people say that, but then it push comes to shove.
Yeah.
My aunt spent $10,000 on her silly-ass Great Dane, who jumped on her bed, missed the bed as far as landing in the middle, and broke her neck by hitting the wall. And it was like $9,800, and it was like and she spent it. I'm like, you're insane.
Dude, little Bentley Boo, my first little weenie dog. Little Bentley Boo had a growth on his butt, and it scared me to death. I took him to the vet. You know, he was acting sick and everything. Had this big growth on his butt. Oh. Take him to the vet, and they said, well, we're not sure what it is. You know, it looks like, it could be cancer, and we're going to have to run some tests. And, of course, at the time, I said, how much is that going to run me? $500. I said, no, because it might not be. And I said, never mind. Take him home. The next morning, that thing had fallen off of his butt.
Oh, God. What
it was
was
sitting right by his food bowl.
What was it?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. And then he went on to live 6 more years.
That's yeah. Because
he died at age 15.
Which is, that's a good age.
It is.
That's a good age.
Otherwise, I was going to be spending $500 on something that just fell off.
Yeah, somebody said earlier that their dog got a tick on their butt, and he thought it was going to be like $500, and the doctor just kind of yanked it off for like $50 or something. And I'm like, that's you could have probably done that yourself. But
dude, we had the best veterinarian in Tulsa whenever we first got Bentley and Chloe. Bentley had seizures, and they told us that it was genetic, and he didn't charge us. He gave us phenobarbital.
Oh, wow.
To give to him.
Oh, you didn't keep it for yourself.
Never charged us, man. This guy that dude was in it for the right reasons. Now, he might have been independently wealthy. I don't know. But so many people went and saw him with their animals, man. Dr. J. Cox was his name. He's a great, great man. Really loved animals.
And that's, but it shows like how blessed we are in this country.
Yes.
That we will do this. Like, a lot of you, some of you are like, man, I spent $10,000 on my cat for multiple surgeries. $6,000, Jason said, on pancreatitis. Unfortunately, didn't survive. Somebody said, $20K on cancer.
Yeah.
And it's somebody said, the reason ours was so expensive for our cat was because the stuff had fragmented and went in. So it wasn't just a simple,
I see.
And it had shattered and went all over. So it wasn't super simple, and he was in there for a long time. But I wanted to give the cat a fighting chance, and he was awesome. And it was just, again,
man, you love them.
Yes.
I mean, they are members of your family.
They do. And for you ladies out there, some of you single ladies, I get why you spend so much, because that's also your boyfriend. But they are members of your family. Like, Charlie, our dog Bowie, it's her dog. We went to go during COVID, right? We got a hair up there and said, oh, let's go. They needed because they needed to shelter some animals.
Mm-hmm.
She is 2.5, almost 3. She gets out of the car, walks over to the little pen where there's these puppies, and there's hundreds of dogs and cats everywhere. She walks right over to this puppy. She picks it up and doesn't let it go.
That's awesome.
And they're inseparable. They are inseparable. He follows her everywhere. He is, he is the dog that, yes, if somebody came in, it wouldn't be good for Bowie, but he would do anything for her. And, like she asked me the other day, she goes, Dad, how old's Bowie? And I said, I think he's just turning 5. And she goes, how much longer is he going to live? And I said, oh, honey, he's got, he's a little guy. He's got a long time to go.
Oh, man.
But it's, like you said, they become part of your family.
They do, man.
They do. And so you go and you will do whatever you can within your means. Because If you can't pay, that's understandable. But if you can, most people will. You know, it sounds ridiculous. You can spend 5, 6, 8, 10 grand. Most people will if they can. Because, again, the emotion of that pet in your life is so tremendous. All right, coming up, I just saw him. I think it was him. We're going to ask him because he was just outside, Ken. We'll ask Matt if the roads are as slippery and dangerous and sleety as we think it might be. It could be gross out there. We will find out straight ahead. Matt coming up is the crossover here is happening, right? It's happening with Matt. I believe he's still here today. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Here's the man to ask. Matt in studio.
I'm the man to ask.
We were talking about, because they've got
42.
Ozempic now for cats. They're testing it out.
Ozempic for cats.
And I was saying, I did the research. If the money we spend on pets, if we were to break that down, we'd be ranked right around 65th in the world as far as GDP for the amount of money we spend on pets.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about all the money that people spend on their animals. And this is, I'm not talking about food. We're talking about vets and like Halloween and whatnot. And as we're talking about the vet, I'm like, Matt, you guys with your dog,
I spent more money on my dog surgery than I spent on my shoulder surgery.
Little Munson?
Yeah. So Munson had cancer surgery at the beginning of the year.
I remember
that was like $7,000 total. And my total all-in cost on my shoulder was like $4,500.
You should
I have
probably have the
insurance.
vet do it.
I have insurance.
Should have the vet do
I should have had the vet do the shoulder. He would have come out like a bandit. No, I mean, we do. I mean, obviously, the idea of pet ownership, when we were kids, I mean, I remember when I was a kid and, my grandparents had a couple dogs outside. They're outside dogs. They slept,
They
in their
were
dog
dogs
houses.
you say hi to, maybe throw a ball, but they weren't like your family like they are nowadays.
No. And they weren't allowed in the house.
Yeah.
The first time I remember a dog being allowed in the house is when I brought my dog that I'd gotten in college back home, and my grandmother. Well, I guess there was. No, I take that back. My grandmother had this little Pekingese weirdo dog for a little bit that was allowed in the house, but we didn't count that as a dog.
That's not a dog. That's
more like a rat.
That yaps and snaps at you.
Snaps at you. So
Yeah, they got cute little faces.
Yeah, they do. Those Pekingese.
I said we had a cat that got shot, and Blue is like
run with
his
the bad
shoulder.
Bad crowd.
Yeah, it was apparently. And what ended up happening, it's like somebody fractured. And we'd only had the cat for a while. It cost us $6,000. He had to have his arm taken off and everything. But a family, because
what do you do?
Yeah, you bond with it. It's crazy.
Yeah, we had a dog years ago named Gus, and Gus had seizures. And so we were trying to figure out, when we first realized he had seizures, and these were like awful grand mal, did not stop seizures.
Terrible, yes.
And they were awful. And the first night that it happened, we go to the emergency clinic, and these people, this is like 10 o'clock at night. And these people were great. They took him back and they stabilized him. But as soon as they got him stable, they came out and they said, we need $1,000. And I'm like, we're grieving. And I don't, and at the time it annoyed me. But now I kind of get it. It's because they're an emergency clinic. You don't have any affiliation with them. And if they fix the dog on the front end, they have to give you the dog back. And then if you don't pay them or whatever. But, I mean, they're your family members.
They are. And, our little dog, Red, like 4 years ago, he's freaking out. And my wife freaks out. And we take him to the vet. And I'm thinking he's drooling. He's freaking out. He's shaking. They're like... was he out back? We're like, yeah. He licked the desert toad.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He was high as a kite.
Yeah.
We had to eventually, because he got like addicted during the summer. He would go out and chase him around. The other animals wanted nothing to do with him, but he would be like our dog. That's why we had to move here, because we had to get him away from his addiction.
Don't hang out with Red. He's on the junk. He's on the stuff.
He's on the toad.
He's not like this when he's not on the toad.
He is on the toad.
He's bad off. No, we thought that first night that Gus had gotten into something and was poisoned and was, seasoned because of that. But that was one of the worst nights of our life.
How long when they stabled him, did he have him a whole bunch more? Or was it?
No, the seizures, that seizure happened. He seized for 45 minutes. His temperature got up. He was never the same after that. His body temperature got up to like 105.
Oh.
Which is bad and normally causes some sort of brain. Yeah, but so we put him on a bunch of medicine, and every time it would storm, he would have a seizure. And even, it got to the point where, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, what in the world are we doing? I mean,
it's not fair to him at this point in time.
No, and we were on pins and needles. I mean, anytime he would just move in the night, oh my God, here comes a seizure. We got to go to the doctor. So eventually, we just had to let him go. And that the vet in that case was such a wonderful Dr. David Fuller. I'll never forget it. He said, because we didn't know what to do. He was like 3 years old. I mean, we were just emotional. Oh. And he said, I don't tell people what to do, but all I can tell you is that if this were my dog, that I would let him go. And it was just kind of the permission that we needed.
Yeah, which is good, because I think if you feel like I've done everything I can, and they're telling me, look, this is what I would do.
This is the right call to make.
How's Munson?
Oh no, Munson's great. He got his 6 month, 9 month something checkup, and he's good. Yeah, he's good. They took out an anal gland, and the big concern was will he be able to poop? Okay, and he's great.
All right.
Munson's good.
There you go. Party. All is good. All is well. What are you talking about today, man?
We'll get into. I've not delved into the Somali Minnesota fraud deal. We'll talk about that a little bit. Where obviously it's pretty good fraud as it goes. I need to get into some of that fraud, but and then the January 6th pipe bomb thing. We've got an identity. We've got an individual. We've got kind of a makeup. So we'll go over that again. And Marsha Blackburn coming on the show. Oh, Senator Blackburn will be here. 3:35.
She's running for governor,
She is running for governor. And Josiah Baker, who's a name that you might not know, is the head of the Libertarian Party of Tennessee. We're going to talk to him.
That'll be fun, man.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one. We'll do it tomorrow.